Hey, it's your girl Janika, and I'm coming back to you today with another video. Whew, it's cold out here, y'all. This Michigan weather is no joke, for sure. So today, in this video, I want to talk about co-parenting. So, do you know what co-parenting is? Co-parenting is when you have a child outside of wedlock, outside of marriage. So you and your partner had a baby without being married, basically, but now you two have shared duties or responsibilities in raising a child, to be a decent human being in society. So hopefully you vetted or have a baby or a child by someone who is mature, because if not, it's going to be a disaster. You're going to have lack of communication with the other parent. You're not going to have someone that's going to work with you, to see your child be healthy. And it's sad because it happens to a lot of good women and some men. It goes both ways. There are not just all bitter baby mamas, and there are not all bitter baby daddies. I believe there are some more than others, but they definitely do exist. Bitter fathers, that feel that they didn't have a fair chance at maybe being with the mother. But sometimes men and women, because it goes both ways, live lives of casual sex. And when this plays a part, the child suffers. And then sometimes the child becomes a pawn in this game, that one of the parents may be playing. But you do have some good mothers out here, and you do have some good fathers out here that truly do genuinely love their child and want the best for their children, which means them spending time with both parents equally. But if you have a co-parent who is not communicating, not being respectful and not abiding by the laws of the court, it's going to be a nasty co-parenting relationship. I dealt with this firsthand, and I'm not going to put all my business out there, but, I have tried to communicate. I have shown respect. I have, allowed my daughter to go be with her father, my youngest. And sometimes it hasn't always been pretty, and I've been a very good communicator, communicating the needs of our daughter, but because maybe the father may feel some type of way and now they have resentment towards the mother, because I'm not innocent. Let me just put that out there. I'm not innocent. Everybody do they wrong in a relationship or they dirt. Now, I'm not saying this happens in all relationships, but when you're having casual sex, this is what happens. People think they are yours. Some people become possessive, and they think that they own their child's mother. Or sometimes the child mother thinks that she owns the child's father. That's not okay. You're not even married to one another. So you cannot pick and choose who's going to be around your child. But what you can ask is for the person to be respectful. Now, the person doesn't have to be respectful, even though you're asking for this, Let me just make that clear. You can ask for a lot of things. Don't necessarily mean this person is going to give you what you're asking for. Now, you can continue to be the mature and the bigger person, and I just truly do believe when you're a good person, things will eventually work out in your favor. Now, things might not go the way that you plan for them to go all the time, but 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, you don't have to speak negatively to your child about the other parent either, because your child is going to grow up. Your child is going to become aware. Your child is smarter than you think they are. They're going to see with their own eyes what type of parent they have, whether it's the mother or the father. Nobody has to say anything negative about nobody. Now, I do believe that both parents should share responsibility, and whether their child is sick, whether their child is hungry, they should know what size shoes their kids wear, clothes, what's their kids' favorite food, what's their kids' favorite restaurant. Men and women should both know this. They have parenting apps, but sometimes a parent will get mad and they don't want to be exposed and delete the whole parenting app. So I would say don't even use a free app. I've been there, done that. So the thing is, people can say, oh, she bitter, she crazy, she this, she that. God knows the truth. I don't have to prove myself or nothing to nobody. And the same with you, whether male or female. You don't have to prove yourself, because at the end of the day, when your child grows up, it's going to all be exposed. I look at Dr. Umar's daughter. She's 22. And some of the things she said, one of the things she said, is that she wanted to know her sister. And this is something that a lot of fathers do. I've experienced this more than once, where a child wants to know the other side of the family and they had to control everything, which is fine because that is their family. But at the end of the day, if your child is telling you they want to meet their sibling, they want to know their sibling, why can't they spend time with their sibling and get to know their family, their sibling? I'm saying all this to say is co-parenting can be very difficult, and if people never co-parenting before, they really shouldn't be giving advice, especially if they married the person that they have kids with. They can't really give you advice if they only have kids with the person that they married to, because at the end of the day, that's not really co-parenting. That's you being married to somebody and y'all got kids together and y'all raising y'all kids together. Now, I'm not saying people can't look from the outside in, but you don't know the whole full ins and outs because you're not living it. Till you're actually living it, you're just basically, again, on the outside looking in. You don't know the ins and outs of co-parenting. You really don't. Because there's some people out here that don't want to see their child's mothers do good. And there's some women out here that don't want to see their child's fathers do good. I didn't see it go both ways. I didn't see families get into business that has no business dealing with them. And what I mean by that is, if you have a baby with somebody and they're not the mediator, basically trying to help the situation, you got people in the family where they just try to basically make the situation even worse by getting involved in your business. So you just got to make sure you have a baby by your husband or a baby by your wife. So basically, get to know the person that you're dealing with. See if they're a good communicator. See if they're a respectful person. See if they're a kind person, a loving person, a trustworthy person. Because if you get out here and you have a baby by somebody, I'm heavily breathing. I feel like I'm out of breath. It's so cold. Excuse me. Like I said, it's like 30, 33, 34 degrees out here today. I mean, it would be okay if it wasn't so like bone cold. Lord, my hand. I got on my gloves. I got the one hand out. But I'm saying all that to say is you have to be careful. Co-parenting is definitely not easy. And you sometimes can't even tell who's lying. Only their two parents know the truth and God. The thing is, I done been to court, a couple times, a few times. And at the end of the day, people are going to be who they are. You can't make nobody do nothing they don't want to do. It don't matter if it's a court order or not. It don't matter. People try to do less, the bare minimum, and want to be applauded for the bare minimum. You heard what Dr. Umar said. He paid his child support. That's how a lot of men think. And it's sad. You see that? It's cold. Hold on, y'all. Oh well, it happens. But back to what I was saying, sometimes people, they gonna be who they are, and we not trying to change nobody. We just gotta grow and know who we are and know what we gonna accept and know what we gonna tolerate. I've dealt with situations when a co-parent was supposed to pick up a child, our child, at a certain time. They would be running late, wouldn't say nothing. When their weekend would come, maybe it fell on Valentine's Day, they wouldn't even show up. They don't know if I had something planned. You got stuff like this, just hating, cock blocking is what they call it. It's been numerous occasions where I dealt with issues, and I'm not going to expose it all, but I mean, it's been times out here where I tried my best to work with the person, and guess what? The person just don't want to work with you, and it's okay. Let them be who they are. Let them. I let a person show me who they are. When they show you who they are, believe them. When people show you who they are, believe them. You cannot sit up here and beg nobody to do right by their own blood. If anything, sometimes men are jealous of women. I'm just going to say it, make it plain. Sometimes men are jealous of women. And I don't know what it is. They like to see their mama struggle. I didn't went to a parenting class, parenting one-on-one, that I had to attend because of the courts. And what I've learned from being in that class, they didn't care if they mama struggled. They figured they mama struggled, so you could struggle right along with they mama. They don't care. If their daddy was doing whatever, guess what? They gonna do whatever. At the end of the day, a lot of men are selfish. Some women can be selfish too, but it's a lot of men that are selfish and only think about themselves. They just want to get what they can get and dip out. That's just the honest to God truth. I mean, I know sometimes the truth hurts, but it's just a reality. And sometimes this is what I believe that will make the world a better place, is that if other men will hold men accountable, because men know how men are. A lot of women, we don't know how men are until we actually have to deal with them, and we have kids with them. Because we be in la land, and that's what happened when you living in sin. You are blinded and you don't see, everything that is transpiring. And so if men hold other men accountable instead of trying to bet and see who could sleep with this person, let's have a conversation about that, right? And if they hold other men accountable, then maybe men will do a little bit better. I mean, yes, women are learning now because we have social media and we're growing and understanding how some men operate. Because I don't like to say all men are like this. I just believe some men are all like this. I'm not bitter. I'm not angry. I want my child's father to be happy. Please be happy. And I believe a lot of women who just necessarily want to, they just really want to move on with their life and just want help with their children so they can, be able to take care of themselves and, provide a stability for their child. So that's my little rant about co-parenting. It can be very difficult if you have a baby by someone that is not a godly person or a God-fearing type person, or a person that is willing to meet you halfway. And when you're out here having casual sex and not getting to know people, these are the dangers. I know firsthand.